Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Citizen channel as we look back at a disappointing, let's be honest about it, a disappointing FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0, yeah. Wembley, 17th of April 2021, 5:30 PM kickoff. Yeah, we're going to have I'm not going to go on too much today because I could spend an hour today doing this one, but we've got a live show coming up. Be careful. It's on Monday the 19th of April, 5 PM British Standard Time. Join me for the live show. I'm sure this will take precedence talking about this Chelsea game and talking about the future. Let's talk about the future. Let's be positive, eh? We're always positive. And if we do come on and we do say, yeah, City rubbish, I want positives as well on how do we progress from here? How do we actually up the thing next time? So anyway, that's my live show. Please make a note of it and come on. It'd be great to hear from you. Let's have a bit of fun as well. Let's have a laugh because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's only football. Of course, we're disappointed, but we can have a laugh as well. So join me for that. Anyway, we're going to have our usual features today. Match analysis, match stats. With Mr. Bukowski's player ratings and some of the lower ratings I've put out this year, I think, on my little ratings as well. We'll have the quirky stats. There's only a couple of those. There's nothing exciting, to be honest with you. And some conclusions on City and Chelsea. And as I said, I'm not going to great depth today. Please join me. I will go into some depth, but not great depth. That'd be great if you can join. We'll have more of a talk about that, obviously, on the live show on Monday the 19th of April. Don't miss it. Please, if you're new to the channel anyway, please push that subscribe button if you want to know when I'm going. Like I say, it's there set up, I think, now to go live. I say it's my first one. I have done live shows, but with other people, so it'll be the first time I'm in charge on my own. I did that little test one a few days ago, which was okay. I had 8 people on at one stage, but there you go. Anyway, push that notification button and that'll confirm when it is for you anyway, and all my City stuff's on there. I'll never stop doing all my City history stuff and present and quizzes and magazine vlogs, etc. That's always going to be done. I'm never going to go live every day or stuff like that. Well, you never say never in this life, do you? But don't plan on it because, as I say, I always want to be a little bit different to what other people are doing. So yeah, sort that out. Anyway, push that notification button and you will see some film and TV stuff as well. So if you're interested in that, if you want to have a break from City, which I do just at the moment, I watched a couple of films after watching the Chelsea game. I must admit, after I did all my work, I watched a couple of films and they were okay. A vampire one, yeah, that was all right. It wasn't as bad as watching City. Put it that way. So please check that out if that's of any interest to you, or let someone know if you know anyone who might be interested in it. That'd be fantastic. And of course, friends and followers on Twitter and Facebook, I do post loads of stuff on there. So I do check every 2 or 3 days and follow and friend everyone back. So if you're just starting out or you need some new friends and followers, please do that. That would be absolutely wonderful. All comments, very, very welcome, please. As I said, comments now. I'll try and answer them all as much as I can. And we'll get some comments tomorrow, won't we, when we do this live thing. Right, yeah, the match. Officials, Mike Dean, absolutely useless. I say he's another referee I'm not even going to give a rating to today. He was absolute garbage, to be honest with you. Assistant referees, Linos, Ian Hulston and Daniel Robothan. Fourth official, Andre Mariner. Reserve assistant, Konstantin Zadikis. VAR was Peter Bonks. And assistant VAR was Stephen Child. Yet, City starting lineup, 8 changes to the Dortmund game. Therein lies the problem. Stefan, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Mendy, Rodri, Ferner, KDB, Torres, Sterling and Jesus. On the face of it, a pretty good 11. But on the face of it, there's 4 or 5 players in there that perhaps aren't on form or have not sort of been hitting much form lately. But hey, there you go. More on that in a moment. Subs, Edison, Walker, Stones, Aki, Gundogan, Zinchenko, Bernardo, Mahrez, Foden. So abilities to bring people off the bench if need be. Okay, not that, not out of necessity sometimes. Let's change tactically sometimes if things aren't working. But hey, there you go. I got 9 correct, which seems a lot, doesn't it? But the 2 crucial elements in that were in my 11. I had Gundogan and Foden as well, and that's the crux of it, really. I think KDB was expected to take on Chelsea on his own, in my opinion. Pep didn't give him the backup he needed, and as we've seen, it's backfired in more ways than one. Not only way out of the FA Cup, but obviously, that's the point. I meant to do that. I forgot that, didn't I? That can go Just for another season, can't it? That'll go back there now. We'll forget that one. Yeah, sorry. I forgot all about that. Yeah, KDB. Yeah, he couldn't do it. He can't do it on his own. It sort of backfired. We're out the semi, and he could be out for the season now. I mean, fingers crossed. We'll know more today, but it doesn't look very good, does it? Pre-match social media talk. Yeah, JSGC at JSGC171. I'll always back the boys, but that team doesn't fill me with confidence, to be honest. Very good. Sam Lee at Sam Lee. He speaks some good stuff. He speaks some daft stuff. But yeah. Hello, the rotation game goes on. It's one of those where they just ask De Bruyne to create everything. Yeah, I mean, I'd said that as soon as I saw the team. Contributions from Jesus Sterling will be warmly received. Well, it would have been nice, wouldn't it? Stephen at Stephen McInerney. Not a terrible lineup, but obviously not a great one either. Yeah, 3 out of 4 forwards when you're one creative player down in midfield isn't obviously ideal. But still, enough there to win. Would be surprised if this is an easy game by any stretch. Come on, City. Yeah, I think that sort of summarises it, those 3 things, and my thoughts, doesn't it? I think most people's thoughts. I think it's not rocket science. I'm not the greatest tactical brain in the world, and within the start of this game, I mean, even more hints were thrown at us, weren't they? But we'll get into that now with the match summation. I've got Mr. Banerjee as well with his goal description. As I say, my thanks to Phil for that. Anyway, please check out his match report on Facebook. Absolutely fantastic, and he sums it all up. Not much wrong with what Phil's wrote in his match report. Here we go. The first 45 minutes. 5 minutes, yeah, a goal for Chelsea, but it was offside. But there you go, within 5 minutes, we knew exactly what Chelsea were going to do for the full 90. And they continued to do it just without anyone trying to stop them. I don't understand why things weren't changed. We had no pace at the back. I mean, this just cried out. I mean, I would have thrown Walker on. I would have, if I hadn't, I would have played Walker probably from the start if need be, but if he was fit enough. But I mean, within 5 minutes, we knew what the Chelsea plan was. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? 6 minutes again, Chelsea go close again after a Diaz error on a pass out. He tries to pass it out, and they come close again to scoring. 10 minutes, Kepa saves a Jesus shot easily. 19 minutes, Chilwell on his own with time at the back. I have no idea what he was doing. Decides to shoot first time, just take it down and then place his shot. And it was a poor shot. He sliced it, but then again, he's not a striker, is he? Is he a wing back that goes forward? I don't know, but that should have been 2-0 19 minutes because he had time to actually do something with it. So another let off for City. 34 minutes, James, another good half chance, yeah, but he was sort of wide, wasn't he? You know, he sort of tried to place it but sliced it a little bit wide. 45 minutes, a KDB corner. He's over everyone, wasn't it, for the second time in a trot. I think he took one literally a minute before. But Sterling's cross was okay, but a bit high for Ferner, and it was nowhere near the goal, was it? High and wide. So half-time, 0-0, and that was about it. That was about summarised the first. Everyone was whinging and complaining on Match of the Day on BBC there that nothing had happened. But we were awful, but we were still in it, weren't we? We were still in it at 0-0. So chance at last. Pep gets him in at half-time. We'll sort something out here. Anyway, yeah, as I said here, Chelsea looked the more likely for 30 minutes or so. City came into it more, but we'll have to do better. This is my half-time musings, and pretty much created nothing, which didn't. Sluggish, slow, must do better. And Chelsea have not broke sweat in defence, I wrote. So that's what I wrote at half-time. On to the second half. I didn't think it would get any worse. Sadly, it did, didn't it? 47 minutes of his KDB, his usual little ankle thing there. You could just tell there's no real contact. He just did something on landing. I think he got a bit of a tug and it was just uncomfortable. And then he was off. And obviously Foden was thrown on. I mean, I probably would have thrown Foden on at half-time anyway, but the KDB thing probably would have still have happened. So you never know, do you? So then we go, sadly, over to Phil for the only goal of the game. And it's not for us. Chelsea had more purpose about them. When they got a chance, Ziyech gave Chelsea the lead in the 55th minute after Werner got free down the City right, not for the first time. Stefan came too far, he did. I said to a friend that when I was at work the other day that you know, Stefan has to learn when to come and not to learn. Ederson gets away with it sometimes, but Stefan tries to emulate Ederson, and he's absolutely not a patch on Ederson. So, and I just knew, we just sort of said, oh, let's hope he doesn't do it. And there you go, he did it. Stefan came too far, and Werner played the ball round him for Ziyech to tap into an empty net. It was a catalogue of errors. There was a huge gap down the right-hand side of the City defence, not for the first time, and no one trapped Werner as he ran through it. Stefan should have stayed but ended up in a no man's land, and Mendy was left trailing in Ziyech's wake like a selling plater in the derby. That's quite good actually. But yeah, whether even if Stefan had stayed on his line, the possibility were that Chelsea may have still scored it, but it would have put doubt in the minds of the strikers, the wingers and the strikers, etc. if Stefan had done his normal stuff. So yeah, big mistake by Stefan, which just led to total confusion. Well, as I said, they'd looked dangerous from that sort of position anyway, so we hadn't learned anything, and we'd not changed anything from the very first 5 minutes from when it happened before. There you go. Thank you, Phil. Anyway, thanks for that. 59 minutes, a long punt. Diaz commits himself, doesn't he? Just slides rather than standing up. He's not going to get it. He's probably going to be beat for pace, so he's probably done the right thing, but he misses it. But Stefan, all right. He blocks it. He did okay. Good little save by Stefan. But I mean, the damage has already been done, mate. I mean, it's a bit too little, too late, in my opinion. 64 minutes. Gundogan on for Torres off. 67 minutes. Fernandinho was finally booked. He should have been booked in the first half. He was actually taken to the cleaners by Mount, wasn't he, in midfield? Absolutely. Any chance of a swap? I love Ferner to bits, but he looked his age today, unfortunately. 69 minutes, Rodri heads back across, didn't he? Diaz was too much under it. Could he reposition himself? I'm not too sure, but it goes over. For a striker there, who can get in the right positions and sort of head in or score these knockbacks that we do. But there you go. That's another story, isn't it? 82 minutes, Rodri straight at the keeper. 84 minutes, Sterling blasts over after a scramble from about the edge of the box. No surprise there. I mean, what was Pep doing, keeping Sterling on, hoping he would score that? If he'd scored that, everything perhaps would have been forgiven, and perhaps we would have gone on and won that game. Probably not. 5 minutes extra, but when you've got a sort of clever team like Chelsea, City would do the same. I mean, as Aspilicueta as it goes down. I mean, his own fault. Laporte got booked and he didn't even do anything. I mean, again, that was Dean's. That was Dean's absolutely being useless, the referee. But yeah, it was obviously time wasting. But we'd do the same. That's how you play the game, and that's how you do it. All credit to Chelsea. I'm not going to complain about it. And 93 minutes, just to rub salt in the wounds. Pulisic scores, doesn't he? But again, just offside. But there you go. And another yellow for Diaz, but that was just frustration coming into it. Ref watch, yeah, Dean. I'm not even going to mark him. Absolutely awful. His decision making is terrible. What he gives and what he doesn't give, he's just a total waste of time. Please, there's so many poor referees now, and we've always had poor referees, but it just seems to be getting worse now with this VAR added to it. It just sort of gets worse and worse. So I'm not even going to rate him because I don't want to rate him more than 1 out of 10. So I just not give him a rating. He was awful. Match stats: 5 for Chelsea shots. 11 for City shots. Chelsea had 3 on target and City had 3 on target. There you go. They scored with one of theirs, didn't they? Possession, 44% for Chelsea, 56% for City. Passes, 484 Chelsea, 599 for City. Pass completion, 86% for Chelsea, which is probably about their average, but just 87 for us, which is down on our sort of average. Corners, 3 for Chelsea, 6 for City. Fouls, 8 by Chelsea, 12 by City. Right, player ratings. My starting score is such an abysmal team displays 6. If they get less than a 6, that's how bad I thought they were. If they get more than a 6, that means they did okay. Simon Bukowski, of course, for the Manchester Evening News. I'll give you his thoughts first, and then I'll just add my little twopennyworth. Stefan, here we go. Culpable for the opening goal as he came and then retreated to leave him in no man's land. An excellent save stopped Ziyech from doubling the lead minutes later. Yeah, he's given him a 6. I think he's been a bit generous there. I'm not going to give him a 6. I'm going to give him 5.5. Yes, it was a good block, and he did get something back, but the damage had already been done then. I mean, I'm sorry, the damage... And, when we did go 1-0 down, I honestly thought we would struggle to get back into it. So I think that has to lose him half a point. I don't think Stefan's a great goalkeeper. I would play him in games against, let's say, early rounds of the Cups, but that's me anyway. I would never give Stefan a big game like this. I just don't think he's capable. All right, he'll probably never learn, but if he gets plenty of time... I mean, even if City, say, are winning a game 2 or 3-0 at half-time, bring him on for the second half. If they need to give these goalkeepers a little tryout, and all teams do it, and I know they do it, but a big game like that, I don't think Stefan should be in goal. I'm sorry. Cancelo worryingly out of form. He left spacing behind that was exploited for the first goal, and the link up with Torres was non-existent. He's given him a 4. Yeah, totally uninspiring. Cancelo, he's gone off the boil. He had a few good games, didn't he? Let's be honest. I'm not going to say he was fantastic all season, but he sort of started pulling up trees, didn't he? And now he's gone back to be totally, I just wrote uninspiring here. I think that's about it. Diaz nowhere to be seen for the first goal, and then messed up to allow Ziyech in again. An uncharacteristic performance, topped off with sending a good chance over the bar from a corner. Yeah, that was the header, wasn't it? So let's give him a 5. Yeah, I mean, some people said he played okay. I thought it was poor again. I say I'm not overly impressed with Diaz recently. I don't think he's been. I mean, he's there, he's committed, he's getting blocks in, but I think he's making too many mistakes, unfortunately, in a key position, which is what he's in. But I'm just going to give him a 4.5. I don't think he was as bad as some of our players, because 4 is going to be my lowest score today. But I don't think he had the greatest game, and I say he did okay, but no. Laporte, the best of the bad bunch. He coped well as Chelsea targeted his side of the defence and could do nothing about the opener. A committed performance with no mistakes. He's given him a 7, Simon. Yeah, I've given him 6.5, one of my higher marks of the day. Yeah, he was committed, and perhaps him and Stones are our new centre-back pairing. But all credit to Laporte, because he did go through a bad patch, didn't he? But all credit, at least he was there and he did okay yesterday. Mendy's forward runs didn't contribute anything meaningful to the attack, made Laporte's task harder when the team lost possession. Yeah, I mean, it's just, he sort of held the ball okay. I don't think he did give it away a couple of times, but not too much. But Simon's given him a 5. I mean, I'd just give him another 4. It's too laborious. I mean, watching him run back, it's like as though he's running through treacle. It's horrible to watch. It's Championship level. It's not Premiership level. It's not Champions League level, is it? It's like it's just horrible to watch from Mendy. It really is. Rodri, no complaints over effort. He can't be criticised too much for his creative output. A very beige performance, producing little of no good or bad. Yeah, I think that Rodri and beige is probably a good description for most games, to be honest. For me, anyway, as I say, I do miss things or whatever. But he's given him a 6. Yeah, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him the average, because I did notice him once or twice. But he just about gets a 6. But I'd probably wanted to give him less than that. But as I say, a beige performance, but a lot of players did a lot worse. Fernandinho got stuck into Mount a few times and made some crucial interventions, but also rode his luck, even when belatedly booked and City lacked creativity in midfield. They did. It's not Ferner's fault. It was just a game too far for Ferner, a game too high a level for Ferner and pace, I think. Simon's given him a 6. I'm giving him a 5.5. As I said, I think he was a bit lucky not to get booked early on, and that would have tempered him down, wouldn't it? That may have been good, actually. It might have been better for him, but then again, he might have got sent off. So, yeah, he did look his age yesterday, unfortunately, Ferner, so I'll just give him a 5.5. KDB tried harder than most who hadn't run themselves into ground on Wednesday night. Well, I don't think we were running ourselves into ground Wednesday night. I thought we were quite calm towards the end. I thought we took it quite easy. I worry that it was forced off injured so early in the second half. It is a worry. He's giving 5. Yeah, he wasn't doing much before then, but as I said, he wasn't sort of giving the help to do much, was he? But I've got to give him I can't give him a 6, because he didn't really do that much in the first half, so I'll give him a 5 as well. But I wouldn't say it was his fault at all, and obviously we know what happened in the end. Torres, anonymous. The lack of service hardly helped, but him still an underwhelming performance, particularly disappointing given how lively he looked for Spain recently. Yeah, it's a bit like Jesus, isn't it? Somehow we've got to get there. How he plays for Brazil and how Torres plays for Spain, we've got to convert that into what they do for City. But obviously, it's cleverer men than me at City have obviously not found a way of doing that, so who am I to say? But hey, there you go. Simon give him a 4. Yeah, I'd just give him a 4. I mean, his lack of game time obviously is against him, but we need to see at least one glimmer. I mean, this is all I'm asking of Torres. Just one beating of a man and something close. Give a chance at the goal, he might say. But we're not even seeing that. I mean, even if you same with Sterling, I suppose, in a way. Even if you're out of form, just do that one thing. Just do that one thing in a goal that might create a goal or do something. And Torres, for all the excuses, and he's got loads of excuses, I just want to see a glimmer, because I'm sure there's something there, and I'm sure we'll see more of it. But yesterday, no. So I'll have to give him a 4 for yesterday. Sterling, Mendy being wide meant he had played a role more suited to Bernardo. He did. He was coming deep to pick it up. I mean, just put the Bernardo on instead of Sterling. I mean, absolutely, it's not where I want Sterling, to be honest with you. Staying inside and dropping deep to scoot the ball up from his own half and carry it forward. Offered little and missed a big chance near the end. He did. At least just get it on target. That's all we ask. That's all. It's simple. Just get the shots on target. So he gave him a 4. Simon. I've given him a 4 as well. He's, as I say, he's no Bernardo, is he? And for all Bernardo's faults, if you're going to have that sort of play, Sterling isn't the guy to do that. I'm sorry, he doesn't hold the ball well enough as Bernardo does. So, yeah, again, he's playing. He's out of form and he's been asked to play continually, and I don't think that's right. But we'll talk about that. Jesus, to his credit, he was responsible for City's only shot on target, a tame shot from outside the box into Kippax' arms. Otherwise, performance that only intensifies the need for the team to properly replace Sergio Aguero. Well, we know that, don't we? So Simon's given him a 4. I mean, I couldn't even say he'd run himself ragged today. Or he probably did, but he just was very unnoticeable, Jesus. So I'm going to have to give him a 4 as well. I don't really want to, because I think even sometimes when he doesn't do much, at least he's a pain to the other team, and he probably wasn't today. So I'll give him a 4 as well. Foden for De Bruyne, 48. Look, bright. Yeah, he's giving him 6, Simon. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7, my highest score of the day, actually. And you'll guess who my man of the match is, which shows how bad the game was when he's only on for one half. But yeah, he did more in that one half, I think, possibly than the combined team in 90 minutes, to be honest with you. So, yeah, Foden. I give him a 7. Simon give him a 6. Gundogan for Torres, 64. Nothing felt him. Yeah, he okay. A couple of little nice touches. He did improve things a little bit, but he wasn't given enough time, was he, to do it? Well, Simon's given him a 6. I can't mark him. He wasn't on for long enough to mark. And just as a matter of interest, Phil Banerjee's player ratings: Stefan 5, Cancelo 6, Diaz 5, Laporte 7, Mendy 3, Rodri 6, De Bruyne 6, Foden, who came on the 48th minute, 7, Fernandinho 6, Torres 3, Gundogan, who came on the 64th minute, 7, Jesus 5, and Sterling 4. Yeah, I agree with sort of most of them. He's been a bit too generous and a bit over the top with some, but yeah, I don't think the low marks are too low. But there you go. But thanks, Phil. Anyway, I'm much appreciated. Check out his match report on Facebook. Citizen man of the match, yeah, as I said there, I've posted it on Twitter. That's to be Foden. Laporte was very, very good, but I just thought the actual influence Foden had in that 45 minutes he was on with injury time could have made a difference. But again, like KDB before him, he can only play with what's in front of him. If the guys up front aren't helping, aren't actually latching on to things, there's not a lot we can do, is there? But he was my man of the match. Quirky stats, just a couple of Stat City ones today. Gabi Jesus has made 8 appearances against Chelsea in all competitions without scoring. He has only gone longer without scoring against a single opponent, and that was United 10 times. So yeah, probably. I'm not, me, stats. I think stats mean nothing at the end of the day. They can be broken, but yeah, I mean, sort of things like that. You need to perhaps have them at the back of your mind when you're playing these players. But hey, there's better people employed at City to do these sort of things than me. And the last one, Pep Guardiola is taking charge, or took charge of his 25th FA Cup match as a manager of Man City. Won 20, drawn 1, and lost 4. It was lost 3, that, because obviously it was 20. It was before the game, but I just altered it now. So, to the truth, no other manager has won more FA Cup fixtures for the club. Shame he didn't win one more. Right, conclusions. Here we go. Chelsea fans. Any Chelsea fans watching? Yeah, well done. You took advantage of that City team. I think against Leeds, I did say that Pep sort of, I don't know what it is, of these mates that he's got, these like Bielsa, and now obviously he knows Tuchel a little bit, doesn't he? He seems to do them favours and put out a team to give them a chance and work, where we know their tactics are going to pay off, and we did exactly the same here. Perhaps not so much with Leeds, because we don't have enough chances to win that game, but all credit to them, they did well. But Chelsea, yeah, they played to their strengths and did the job. I mean, when they had to defend, they did all right. We didn't exactly create much, did we? And when they had chances, they took them. Even the 2 offsides, they still took them. Even though they weren't allowed, they still took the chances. So, I mean, all credit to them. And Werner is obviously can't score for toffee, can he? Let's be honest about it. He's absolutely useless. I saw a little video of all his misses this season. He's absolutely awful. But, you put him down that wing, there's a chance he'll actually, with his pace, and that's what they're exactly. It's simple tactics. It's not. I said it's not rocket science. I'm not a great tactician, but I mean it's so blatantly obvious what they were doing, and he just uses pace, and hopefully someone will be up with him. He can just try and pass it to him. All right, he's probably not going to pass it right all the time, but it worked yesterday, didn't it? As I said, they scored 3 goals. All right, 2 were offside. And all right, offside by not by a little amount, by a sort of fairish amount, but they still did what they had to do, and fantastic. Tuchel, absolutely straightforward, no messing about. They did what they had to do, and they played as a unit. They played with confidence. I mean, City's confidence, even though we'd beat Dortmund, obviously he virtually played a lot of the players that had been humbled by Leeds only a few days before. So yeah, that's all credit to Chelsea. Fantastic. They did what they had to do, and unfortunately Pep sort of gave them, Chelsea, the ability to do it, which is another unfortunate thing. But yeah, they're a good team, Chelsea. Based on yesterday, I wouldn't say they were fantastic, but yeah, he's certainly got them playing really well as a unit. And I say confidence is a big thing, and obviously City's confidence is taking a bit of a knock at the moment, and that's not good going forward, is it? So yeah, well done, Chelsea. Anyway, as I say, I'm not a big fan of Chelsea. As I said, I did have a Chelsea kit when I was about 10 or 11, but yeah, that was sort of only a brief foray, because I think it's because he won the Winners' Cup after us. I think I just thought, I like the Chelsea kit, I like dark blue, so that's why I got it. But yeah, I've no love for him at the moment. But all credit to you, all credit to Chelsea, and you could play your thingy song after that, couldn't you? One step beyond, quite happily, couldn't you? But there you go. City, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I will talk about all this in the live show as well. I mean, there's a statement, wasn't there, that Pep made. If I don't start Zach Steffen, I'll lose the team. That is a very, very worrying statement. Whether his translation in English is a little bit lost, but it scares me to death. Does the same go for people like Sterling? I'm sorry. If you're straight with people, at the end of the day, if you tell Zach Steffen at the start of the season, yes, you will get games, but I'm not, obviously if you show the skill to do it, yes, I will play in the big games, but obviously Ederson's my number one. So when it comes to big, hard, tough games, he'll play there, and you'll get as much time as I can give you. I don't like this. If I don't start Zach Steffen, I'll lose the team. I think that's totally wrong. I mean, let me know what you think, but I think it's shocking. I mean, we'll talk about that tomorrow, that statement, but I don't agree with that whatsoever. Yeah, Pep went with the team as he did with Leeds, and to give the opposition a chance, I think, and that's exactly what he did. 9 of that team were in my 11, as I said at the start of this programme, but I did have my Pep's head on. It's not the 11 I wanted to see out on the pitch, and you got to allow for being fit, etc., etc. But as I said, the crucial element in my 11 was I had Foden and Gundogan in as well, alongside KDB. So I had creativity and the ability to score goals, perhaps in Gundogan and Foden as well, which Pep didn't do, did he? So there you go. So as I said, he expected KDB to take Chelsea on his own, and it backfired vastly, didn't it? Not just the scoreline, but obviously going forward now, if KDB's picked up a season-ending injury. But 8 changes, yeah. As I said a few games ago, I said, what's wrong with changing 2 or 3 players and then players get a rest every 3 or 4 games? I have no... I say a lot of people have paid a lot of money at City to look at fitness levels and stuff like that. So who am I to... But I just don't see the point, and no one's ever explained that to me, and Pep's not going to explain it to me because I've never got a chance to ask him, and I'm sure he'll baffle me with science if I do ask him. But 8 changes, really? Yeah, I mean, we did okay a couple of games when we made that many changes, so I was sort of lulled into a false sense of security, I think. But it's come back to bite us a little bit, hasn't it? And that is such a shame. And the more annoying thing is that tactically we could see what was going on. We from the first 5 minutes, we knew exactly what Chelsea were going to do. But we just carry on regardless. I don't understand. I just don't understand why Pep won't. I mean, all right, his plan A. We talk about plan A and plan Bs, and it's because Pep's a legend. But he didn't seem to switch it. He didn't even. All right, we didn't get much chance in the second half to see if he'd switched it because obviously KDB's injury was very early doors. But seemingly he didn't switch anything. It was just exactly the same, and we upped the pace a bit, which was nice to see, even in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half. But defensively, we're always going to get caught out like we were in the first half, and we got away with it. So I don't know. I mean, as I said, I'm no tactician. I'll prattle on till forever on that. I'm no great. I can't go into great detail of these double pivots and what it means and all this sort of thing. I'm just using common sense here. I'm a common sense guy, and I just don't understand why we didn't change things at the back, because we looked suspect throughout the game. So even if we had scored a goal, we still looked as though we were going to let another goal in. So what's he going to do? Is he going to go strong for Villa? He has to now go strong for Villa, isn't he? Is he going to go weak in the Carabao Cup because he's got PSG 3 days later? Oh, it's a quandary, absolute quandary. If he's still changing 6, 7, 8 players over the next 4 or 5 games, I think it may all end in disaster, to be honest with you. Villa is a must-win. We've got to win that. He did used to say take one game at a time and then worry, but he's not doing that, is he? He doesn't. His philosophy isn't. He doesn't always follow his philosophy, does he? Look, I've been on for nearly half an hour now, and I say I could go on forever on this subject, but we'll have more of a talk about of this in my live thing anyway. So as I said, anyway, no KDB. Hopefully we will win the title. Anything else is a bonus, as it always will be. Yeah, of course I'd love us to stuff PSG, but I'll have a talk about that. As far as yesterday's concerned, I think we got it wrong, unfortunately, and I think Pep got it wrong, and I think he'd probably think back, and again, hindsight's wonderful, isn't it? Of course it is, but if you saw some of those pre-match things from people like JSGC and Steve McInerney, I mean, it was there, and I think most of us thought it when we saw that team, so there you go. Yep. There we go. I'll finish off there. As I say, I could go on forever, but I've been over half an hour now. I don't want to babble on too much, but don't forget to join me for that live show Monday 19th of April. Great to see as many of you can on there. Even if you can only pop on for 5 minutes, come and say hello. That'd be absolutely fantastic, and give me a little bit of support so I'm not too lonely on there, and hopefully I won't be. I know 2 or 3 people who promised to come on anyway, so that's 3 of us, so let's make it 4, 5, 6, etc, etc, and let's have a bit of fun as well. Let's have a laugh as well. I say I don't want to be negative. Let's be negative, but I'll turn it into a positive and have a bit of fun. That's what it's all about, football. It should be fun at the end of the day, although it stresses me out no end. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this big match analysis. Chelsea won, Manchester City 0, as we said goodbye to the FA Cup for another season, and we should have won more, shouldn't we? I think we should have won more FA Cups than we have done over the last few years. It's very, very disappointing. I do love the FA Cup, and it's such a shame. There you go. Till we meet again here on the Citizen channel, or perhaps you have a flick across to my film and TV channel. All I ever ask of you out there is stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye for now.